Analyst Desk. Welcome to the show. It's the Analyst Desk. Yeah, in case you didn't know, it's the Analyst Desk. Welcome to the show where every day feels like game day, bro.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Analyst Desk. And it is very early in the morning, late at night. I feel like I'm being ganged up, though, right now. I see Lane Dashing Dashco has switched to a Hamilton Ticats emblem as his screensaver, and Rick's a Ticat fan. I'm in trouble here, boys.
We got to kick up on the Argos people somehow.
I don't know about you guys, but after watching that Boston Buffalo game, you can tell the atmosphere that they have never held a playoff game in 14 years.
Holy cow, I know. I loved it. It was electric, and man, Tage Thompson just absolutely took over. But you know who else is here to talk about it with us? It's getting hot in here. Adam Alfregel.
Wait, hold on. Wait, first off, Adam, your mic's muted.
I'm dead. I thought I would be dead at this point, by the way.
Also,
I totally didn't think I would still be awake and alive.
One thing.
You know what?
Adam has to get his flowers.
For what? What did I say? Oh.
Because
I did say Slavkovsky needs to have a big game tonight.
You said that the Montreal player was going to carry the team because he carried Slovakia in the Olympics, so you got to get your flowers where they're due.
That was me who said that.
No, I said that
last night.
I said that earlier. Yeah, I said it this. Like I said this.
Hey,
afternoon.
can I also get some credit saying Josh Anderson was going to have a huge impact in this game?
Did
some good, some bad. But Josh Anderson,
not great. He didn't have too bad of a game, you know.
He had a huge impact.
Game was great. That Habs Lightning game. Oh my! I knew it was going to be a fun series, and that's why I picked it to go 7 games, because I knew how good this series was going to be. But my expectations, reached my expectations and more. That was an amazing. Dobich played great. Vasilevsky played great despite giving up 4 goals. Dobich played great despite giving up 3. That Slavkovsky hat trick in his his second playoff go around now, but.
Adam, you are going to hate me.
Can't score goals. No, you're going to say Vasilevsky played horrible.
Vasilevsky was nowhere near good enough today, this afternoon, whatever.
I mean, neither goal.
I was going to say Kucherov
has to be better.
He needs to be better, but he wasn't horrendous. He wasn't horrible. You also say the same thing about Dobich. Dobich needs to be better than what he was. He gave out 3 goals. He wasn't.
I disagree. I think Dobich was good enough.
Wait, okay, Jacob. Can I continue with what I was going to say until you really interrupted me? Like you always do this all the time. Kucherov has not scored a goal in oh my gosh, what was it? He's had 2 in his last 19 playoff games or something like that. 2 playoff goals.
Mitch Marner.
He averages 25 goals in a craze. His average of goals from the regular season to the playoffs is absolutely horrendous. Nikita Kucherov is nowhere near good enough goal scoring wise when he gets to the playoffs. He's going to need to be better. We're going to talk about players who need to be better. Nikita Kucherov needs to be a lot better in this series. I don't think Vasilevsky's going to play as badly or not get. I don't think he's going to. There's no way he plays this badly for 7 or 6 more games, whatever how long this series goes. There's no way he can continue to play this bad given the level we know he can be at. And I truly do think he'll play at that level this year. But if Dobich continues playing this way, I don't know.
If Vasilevsky keeps playing like this, it's Montreal in 5. Because there's no way in hell Tampa can win with Vasilevsky on that overtime goal. I don't know if he's trying to stop a wraparound, even though Slavkovsky's at the round near the hash marks. His positioning was terrible. He's letting in goals from too far out. He's not controlling his rebounds. I thought Vasilevsky looked bad. I thought Dobich looked the way I expected him to. He let in 3. He played good enough. And I think I have a different level. I have a different level of expectancy for Dobich and Vasi, because Vasilevsky has the ability to be a Conn Smythe winner. Dobich has the ability to just not lose the game for you. And that's no disrespect, right? It's kind of like if you're comparing Kucherov to Nick Point. You're expecting Kuch to put up more points than Point.
Well, yeah, of course.
That's
But
kind
Montreal
of
only had 19 shots. Like Vasilevsky definitely needs to be better. Like he wasn't
A lot
perfect.
better.
I don't think he had. Okay, Jacob. Okay, but he didn't. I don't think he was as bad. I don't know. When you only face 19 shots, like it's kind of
Let it
just
fall.
like neither Dobich didn't face a lot of shots either. It says a lot about both teams' defense today. Play a lot better. Vasi,
Well, to be honest,
I
that game
expect
didn't-
Vasi to be better. I expect him to be better. Like I don't think he'll be this poor again. I also don't think either team is going to have less than 30 shots again in this series. But you
Well,
know
I
what?
think
They had
too,
they had 40 plus hits too. It's like this game was insanely
Well,
physical.
see, and
Same thing with
although
that last game. Like,
maybe I'm the odd fellow here. I actually thought that Montreal Tampa Bay game took a little bit to get going. But once it got going, I thought it was really good. But Lane desperately, like he's about to turn into this. If we don't get to everyone's favorite segment, it's time for Gas or Ass. Let's go,
So-
Lane. Whoa, what's
So
the
right
Gas
in,
or Ass?
so right in time. I said it last night. Adam said it today. It took this kid a little while. You see when he got drafted, he only had 10 points. Then he had 50 points, 50 when everyone's like, oh, he's not a first overall pick. But I will say, after this year, the Olympics, and now scoring 3 goals in his first in a playoff game today, I think Slafkovsky is officially now a franchise player. Gas or ass?
You know what? I'll actually give you a gas on that one. I mean, he's certainly showing he can be the big player in big moments. And
Also,
I don't
don't
even
buy
know if
this
he's
thing at
necessarily the
Sephora.
franchise player for Montreal because I think it's Caulfield and Suzuki. But I think that Slafkovsky can be a franchise player in the NHL. So I'm going to go gas on that. What do you think, Rick?
So, looking at his career numbers, not including today, he's only had 2 goals in 5 games. I'm going to say, I don't want to say neither, because I want to see more of a sample size from him first.
I get that, but
Before.
73 points in 82 games. He
No,
was a-
I get, Lane, I get that. What I'm saying, but you got to remember, that's season. We're talking playoffs.
no, I know, but
Like,
I said,
for all we know, he could have a shit rest of the series and only score and only have 3 points.
but Rick,
that's
I would argue that he's finally shown that like this is the guy you wanted to pick, because you look at his points, right? He only was getting the first year 10, 50, 50. You're thinking, okay, we got a 50-point player, but that's like a second, third line guy. Now you're actually seeing a guy who can get up. You're starting to see the guy who you wanted to draft, which was a two-way forward. He's a point per game player. He was huge in the Olympics. He got more than a point per game in the Olympics. Now I know it's only one playoff game, but I'm just saying I feel like he's finally, 22 years old here. Sounds like this kid's finally found the confidence to be the next Anze Kopitar, where he's going to be a point per game player and potentially be a franchise player. I think
Damn.
He's not even a point
talk
per game
about-
player yet, Lane, either. He's not a point per game player.
he
yet.
will be though.
I
think
mean,
No,
he will
but
talk
he
be.
about-
isn't. You're
Oh,
saying he's a
tough
point per
compare.
game player, Lane, and that's not true. You can't say he's a point per game player, but he's going to. You say eventually he will be one, but he's not a point per
not
game
true.
player.
True.
It's not
You
true.
can't say he is one
not
when he's
true.
not yet.
It's
Oh,
not
that's
true.
That's
It's not true.
that's going
It's
to.
not
That's
true.
that's just
It's
lying.
not true.
Oh,
Think you're lying.
I don't know how to answer this because this is a tough one to answer because I think it depends on your. I think it depends on what your definition of a franchise player is, like what you look at, what you look for in a franchise player. I think is
Professor
the difference
Adam.
here, because you could say like he is Slovakia's best player. You could say he's not Montreal's best player. That he was their best player today. It kind of depends on what you think a franchise, like what your definition of a franchise player is and what you look for in a franchise player. Now, I'll still say this: that draft, the draft in which he was drafted in, there wasn't anybody there wasn't exactly a first overall pick player. I don't think necessarily. I don't know about franchise player though. Not yet. I
guess
will
what I'm
say
saying-
that. He could be a franchise player, but I don't know. I think franchise player, in my opinion, gets thrown around a lot. Yuri Slafkovsky, in my opinion, is an all-star. Like, he's a star in this league. That's for sure. I think franchise player. I think the term franchise player gets thrown around way too much these days. And I think it's nothing against anybody who uses it to describe a player. But I don't think, like, when I think franchise player, I think Macklin Celebrini. I think Connor McDavid. I think Connor Bedard. I think Nathan McKinnon.
I think Nick Suzuki.
Nick Suzuki, Cole Caulfield are both franchise guys. Like, those guys are guys that you could build a franchise around. Now, Slafkovsky could be that guy. He's not there yet, I don't think. And I think it's loosely thrown around way too much these days. And I think Yuri Slafkovsky, all-star. He is all-star, and he's nearly there at superstar. The Olympics helped. He's right. He's on the verge. And I think I said this earlier. If he is amazing in these playoffs, I think if he shows out like he did today, Montreal's going to win this series. And Montreal will win this. I think Montreal will win this series if he plays the way he keeps playing. Now, I have Tampa winning this series. That doesn't mean I don't think Montreal can win it. Because if Slafkovsky and the top line plays like that, Tampa Bay's in a world of trouble. They're in a world of trouble for that. If they let them play like that to whatever game 2 is, they're going to be in for a world of trouble for the rest of this series.
I guess also what I was trying to say was, you remember a few years ago when Tage Thompson kind of was a similar thing, right? He was doing okay, and then all of a sudden, you look at his stats, he was all right, and then he exploded.
I do remember that.
He exploded out of nowhere and became one of Buffalo's most premier players. Everyone's like, "Oh, this guy's a franchise player." I think Slafkovsky is on the surface of reaching that. Like, he comes out, has another 80-point season next year.
But until he does,
I think until he can do it,
he's not a franchise player. Yeah, but Lane, he's not. By your question, he is not a franchise player yet. He is not. I think it depends. No, yeah, I think it depends on what you. Because I'm gonna keep saying it. Like, I think it gets thrown around very loosely these days, and it's given to players that necessarily aren't franchise guys. Like, I think Yuri Slafkovsky as a finished product. Like, if he becomes what everybody kind of expects him to be, which is a premier power forward in this league, who can put up 30 goals a season. Like, if he could do that consistently, then that's a guy you can build a franchise around. But he's not that yet. He's done it once. He's got to do it again. He's got to do it. Like, you got to see the consistency in the play, which I think he did a good job in improving on that this year. Because that's been a big thing, is where he hasn't been able to find that consistency throughout a whole season, especially when he's not been with Caulfield and Suzuki. I think he's struggled. My friend Adam has said that all the time to me. He kind of struggles.
I'm talking about himself again.
Not talking about myself again, but okay. I think this year he's improved a ton, in which he doesn't need to be with Caulfield and Suzuki to produce points, which I think is like that could be a big thing. Because if he needed to be next to two people, well, that's not a franchise player. That's just a guy who plays really well next to two franchise guys. Because I wouldn't consider that a franchise player, somebody who needs to be around two other stars to be a star, I guess you could say.
I will say, I do agree with you, Adam.
I think it's thrown around. Sorry. I just think it's been thrown around a lot.
I do think it's thrown around too loosely. It's like when people argue with me that Mitch Marner's a franchise player. And he had such a down. And let's be honest, he had a down year without Austin Matthews. Austin Matthews had a down year without Mitch Marner as well. I mean, you can make the same case about Austin Matthews. Like, I think to be a franchise player, they have to be guys that you're like, if they're not on this franchise, they're poop. So I look at a Macklin Celebrini. I look at a Nick Suzuki. I look at a Kirill Kaprizov. Those are guys that if they're not on their said teams, they're really bad. And goaltenders can be a franchise player as well. And that's why I kind of want to go back to a Vasilevsky. He is a franchise player for the Tampa Bay Lightning. And I truly believe the Tampa Bay Lightning go as far as Vasilevsky takes them. I really believe that. I understand they have a lot of other talent, but at the same time, without Vasilevsky playing at a high level, the numbers don't lie. Whenever Vasilevsky has looked human, Tampa doesn't win series. Whenever Vasilevsky plays at a really high level, they win series. Like it's just
So,
one of those things.
Jacob, I have a question for you.
I
So
like questions.
you could say, like, so do you think Austin Matthews, just say yes or no to it. So I could go on and say my explanation. Do you think Austin Matthews is a franchise player? But do you think the Leafs would suck without Austin Matthews? No.
I don't think
okay,
he's a
Jacob.
franchise player.
The Leafs sucked with Austin Matthews.
Because he
but they
doesn't
also
show up
suck.
a ton
But
of
you could say that without Austin Matthews at 100%, if Austin Matthews truly isn't at 100%, and he wasn't throughout this season because he's still dealing with the same issue he was dealing with last year, then the Leafs were worse without a 100% Austin Matthews.
Yeah, I'll say Austin Matthews is a franchise
100%, a fully healthy Austin Matthews, a 60-goal guy.
He's a franchise player when he's
like
on.
What Matthews at full health is a franchise guy. You could say. Now, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, and I love Austin Matthews. Austin Matthews is my probably second favorite player in the NHL behind Sidney Crosby. I love the guy. You could say. Now, playoff-wise, that's a completely different conversation. But you could say without a fully healthy Austin Matthews, the Leafs can't do anything. Leafs can't make the playoffs without fully healthy. You could say the same thing about Mitch Marner, though, I guess. Like, you could say the same thing about certain players. Like, you could say it. Now, I wouldn't, like, Kirill Kaprizov. As much as Minnesota is the same team without Kirill Kaprizov. He's another good example. Look at Vancouver. Vancouver lose Quinn Hughes, and they're the worst team in the league.
They're the worst team in the league.
Their franchise. Like, look at, like, you could say, I think there is a lot of franchise players, but again, yeah, like, Vasilevsky, if Vasilevsky's not on, this series is, if he plays like this again, this series
is over if Vasilevsky is not brilliant. Because
do you
Montreal showed
again, Jacob?
in minimal, I mean, it really depends. I mean, we've seen Vasilevsky, and if you actually go back and look at his last 5 or 6 playoff starts, they're not good. And you really have to ask yourself, obviously you can't go to the backup in Tampa Bay. There's no way in hell. But you have to ask yourself, can the Tampa Bay Lightning win games with Vasilevsky letting in, 4 goals a night? And I think the answer is no. Do I think Vasilevsky will be this bad for the whole series? No, I don't. But I don't even think Vasilevsky just needs to improve. I think he needs to do a complete 360 no scope like he's playing Call of Duty back with his buddies on the Xbox 360 era and be drastically better. I think this is one of the biggest reasons why Tampa Bay lost this game tonight. The way they are built, they are built from the goaltender out. I don't care if people say that I'm stupid. You can say I'm stupid. That's fine. The internet's full of trolls and I'm just living in it. But I feel Andrei Vasilevsky is what this team is built around. They're built around him, defense, and then the forwards. I thought Kucherov was terrible today as well. Go ahead, Rick.
Kucherov needs to be better.
So I have 2 points.
Yay, points.
1, did anyone think that there'd be 37 goals scored in 7 games so far in the playoffs?
No.
2,
very high scoring this year.
2, if Tampa Bay's out in the first round, do you see John Cooper fired?
No.
Whoa. I mean,
that's tough. No, because I see changes coming. I don't think Cooper's gone, but I guess it depends, because I think if John Cooper leaves, you kind of have to go to a full rebuild. I know he's not a player, he's a coach, but I think if you lose a coach of John Cooper's case, because there's nobody else in the league, I think he's a top 5 coach in the league. Like, he's top 3 coach in the league right now. Like, he is one of the premier coaches that you're losing. Like, you're talking about a top 3 coach going into free agency and can sign anywhere else in the league would be insane. Because I don't think Tampa Bay are as good without John Cooper as they are with him. Like, I think if John Cooper gets fired, it's deserve it if they lose to Montreal. Because this Tampa Bay team is good enough to continue through a series. But I do think you start to ask questions about Nikita Kucherov. And, like, I know it's crazy to say because he just had a 130-point season. But, like, Nikita Kucherov has not been good enough in the playoffs in the last. Since they won the Cup, Nikita Kucherov has not been good enough. So, like, I think a lot of people, I think Lightning's fans would admit to that. Like, he has been subpar in the playoffs the last couple of years.
Yeah,
That's
unfortunately,
saying
Dan
something.
is still
Yes.
sick. He's feeling better. Hopefully, he'll be back on in the next day or
Yeah.
two, but he still is not 100%. So Rick is going to do the woos for us.
Woo!
But you know what, Rick? You make an interesting point when it comes to Tampa Bay. And I'm not saying they've lost this series yet, but you look now, right? So you lost to the Toronto Maple Leafs in the first round. Then you lost to Florida in the first round. Then you lost to Florida in the first round. Tampa Bay has been bad in the playoffs the last 3 years. Can you imagine if this was the Leafs or the Canadiens? You would never hear the end about this. But because Tampa's won a couple Stanley Cups, it's kind of the pressure of winning in the last millennial. And it is something, I don't know if John Cooper's the problem or if it's guys like Kucherov just can't do it without guys like Stammer. I don't know. But I know he's done it before, but I just mean I think Tampa Bay, there's some serious questions going on. It was just one game today, but it wasn't. I thought Tampa, considering they had a chance to really put the pressure on Montreal early against a very young team, although a lot of Montreal's players now, this is their third playoff run. Let's get to some more comments here. Hudson was targeted
there was
all game.
way too many penalties
29
tonight.
minutes. Habs PP won the game.
Like,
I would agree. Actually, I thought Lane Hudson handled the pressure pretty well. The odd bad turnover, but overall, I thought Lane Hudson had a pretty good night.
Like, we talk about reasons Tampa Bay lost this game. Let's talk about the fact that Montreal won 61% of the faceoffs. Like, you can't be sub 40% on the playoff in the dot and win a playoff game. Like, that's not happening. Like, that is ridiculous. That's bad. You have 14 penalty minutes. It's like, that's even worse. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you taking you got to be better disciplined. Like, that's ridiculous.
I was actually telling this to Jacob earlier. I was watching the AHL game earlier today, and there was 4 power play goals in that game of goals of 9 out of 9 goals.
Oh, wow.
So this, I'm just not even talking this game. I'm just saying all playoffs. It's going to come down to if you take a penalty, it's going to cost you.
Yeah. Darren Radish played 7 minutes and 35 seconds on the power play tonight.
Darren Radish, what a gem.
That is ridiculous. He's an amazing play. He's been playing great. Like, John Cooper is a big reason Darren Radish
got to put on the Olympic team, just saying.
Has taken off.
You know what, Lane? After a
game
like tonight, I actually can see why you had that take. His goal was absolutely beautiful.
I can see why you have it, but I still wouldn't have taken him.
He played, and I've said this, not that I want to make this a Leaf show tonight, but I do say Toronto Maple Leafs should throw whatever money Darren Radish wants and bring him to Toronto when he's a free agent this summer.
That's if he makes it to free agency.
I don't think Tampa's going to be able to pay him what he's worth. But let's get to some more comments. JP Power, yes, lots of penalties.
Yeah, too many penalties.
And Montreal's power play was just unstoppable. Slafkovsky, first Montreal player in history to get 3 power play goals in a playoff game. Connor, here after watching an outstanding first playoff win in 15 years for the Sabres, to think they came out and won it like that. Well, any team that misses out for that long is not expected to pull it off. So let's actually move on and talk a little bit about that Boston Buffalo game.
I want to talk about that because this game was like crazy, but I just want to say
from what I saw, it was super entertaining.
Good job on the comeback. But I do want to say this because I feel like
really
there's a lot of positives to take, but like I think if Buffalo are going to win this series, this is not it's entertaining, but this is not the formula to win this series. Because I don't think you can count on this, like going down 1-0, but trailing for so long and then giving up a second goal. Boston looked in control. Now, Boston wasn't in control, of course, and Buffalo got back into the game. But this cannot be the formula to win this series. I like it can't, like you can't continue to play behind and playing with fire and expecting your team to just come alive at some point and then winning the game. Like they come alive for like 6 minutes and then they win the game. Buffalo actually played well throughout the game, but they came alive and scored. They went on a scoring torch for 6 minutes. And it's kind of just like I think you need to get at Swayman quicker, and you need to try and get the puck. You need to do what you did in 6 minutes tonight over 60 minutes in game 2. Like you need to build on the good. You need to build on the good scoring moments and learn from that. And now you know how to beat Swayman, and you got to do it. I don't think they can continue to play behind in this series and not have a tough time winning it. It's all like it's no criticism because they did it well tonight.
I totally get what you're saying.
It's not a building. Yeah, like it's not a winning formula to continue to have to trust that format to try to.
Can I counter you a little bit though, and say if it wasn't for Jeremy Swayman, Buffalo would have had a huge lead early in this game. Jeremy Swayman stood on his head. They were outshot 14-8 after one. If it wasn't for Jeremy Swayman, and actually I thought UPL held the fort good enough for Buffalo, and that's what Buffalo needs is good enough.
There's only 1-0 for a long time.
Yeah, and I think Jeremy Swayman, he's not going to like 2 of the goals he let in on Tage Thompson, but overall, I thought that he looked good, and I think you're just going to continue to see this Buffalo Sabres team build. I agree with you, Adam. They're going to take what they did and get better. But I also think you have to respect the goaltending of Jeremy Swayman to be a huge reason why this game wasn't a lot worse for Boston, which is kind of what I expected.
But Jacob, that's what I mean by they can't keep thinking this formula is going to work. If Swayman plays like that again, this formula, like you can't. Like I meant no disrespect towards Jeremy Swayman by saying what I said. I was saying it because Swayman played as well as he did. This formula is not going to always work. Carter Cahill, I get what you're saying about the physical point, but I never said anything about physicality being the issue. I said they can't. Good for them for putting on the hits on Boston. That's congratulations.
I didn't say physicality.
Good for Buffalo. I didn't say anything about the physicality being an issue.
You're mentioning Carter.
But I'm not talking to you, Jacob. I said Carter. I never said anything about their physical.
What if I legally changed my name to Connor, Frank?
But yeah, I think if Swayman continues to play that way, that formula is not cool that they out-muscled them, but I never said anything about them being physically outmatched in this game. Buffalo is a big team. I didn't think they would be physically outmatched. I think if Swayman plays like this again, you can't count on the formula of you scoring in a 6-minute spurt to win you another game in this. Like you can't keep thinking that's going to get you out of the issue of not. You got to get on Swayman early. Montreal did exactly what I told them they have to do. I said you got to get on Vasilevsky. You got to score Vasilevsky quickly. You got to get on early.
That Josh Anderson goal was disgusting.
And look, but like you hit him and then you kept hitting him. Like you just kept going. Montreal scored 4 times on Vasilevsky. That is a difficult thing to do on him in the playoffs, especially. Vasilevsky locks in on the playoffs and they made him play poorly tonight. Like that is, but like I would say like they gotta get on Swayman quicker because he can't get locked in like this because then it's going to be a lot harder. The more this game goes on, the harder things are going to get for Buffalo to continue to have to rely on these comebacks. Like if they could physically wear them down, good, but you can't wait long for you to physically wear down Boston and then continue to expect to use the same formula. Well, Colton Franco didn't want to go there. That was always.
No, I think what Connor is saying. Like
I totally didn't think they were going to take. Colton Franco is definitely never going to waive his no move for Buffalo. I totally didn't think. I don't even know why St. Louis would make that trade without being sure, or why did Buffalo accept that trade without knowing that Franco was going to waive his no move? That was even dumber.
I do agree with this comment too about Carrier. Yeah, Carrier on that Anderson goal was just a dog on a bone. But I'm curious though, from either Lane or Rick, what are your guys' thoughts on that Boston Buffalo matchup tonight?
I will say, as it was said in the comments, my lord, someone best be making sure that there's extra security, because even security had to hold up the railings at that watch party, and it was snowing and people had no shirts.
Yeah, people in Buffalo are crazy.
I'm actually curious to see what that atmosphere was inside that arena tonight.
Over 115
it
decibels.
Sounded loud. Jeez, it was loud in there. It sounded loud on the TV. I'm like, jeez. It was rocking in Buffalo. Good for them.
So I can explain this one, Connor, on the charge. Number one, I actually didn't love the call. I will say that. Number two, though, it's a charge because when Anderson hit the Tampa Bay player, it was from behind. He came flying in at full speed, but I also think if the Tampa Bay player didn't get injured, it's not a penalty. I'm not saying I like it. In my personal opinion, I actually don't think that's a penalty in a playoff game. But I thought Montreal kind of got in some sticky situations with penalties in general.
But Jacob, this is my biggest issue with the penalties in the playoffs, because it's the same issue. And so, okay, before I get on this, and before I know Jacob's gonna yell on me about it because he just brought up this point. So Jacob, don't get on me about it. But my biggest and I think it's that's a big reason why penalties are so hard, why refs struggle so much in the playoffs sometimes when they're calling penalties, and why penalties can be sometimes not be amazing, is because people are always like, well, the refs have got to let the boys play. They got to let them play. They got to let them play. They got to let them play. You can't call what is an actual penalty a penalty in the playoffs. You got to let some stuff go. You just got to, but then when somebody gets actually hurt, and it's a penalty. If it's a penalty, in my view, I'm like, if it's a penalty, call it a bloody penalty, because it's the same. Because it's a big I understand why they don't. I fully do. So I don't need that explained to me. If somebody's gonna explain it to me, I don't need to know why they don't call it, because I know exactly why they do it. But it's a humongous reason why I hate it when fans complain, because I'm like, you don't want them calling stuff. And you don't like it when they call actual penalties, but you hate it when they don't call other stuff. And I'm just like, well, if you want them to actually do their jobs properly and not screw everything up all the time, just let them call a damn penalty when they're penalties. Like, it's just there's too many playbooks, and these referees are not smart enough. They don't have the brain capacity to carry two different playbooks for two different times of the years, clearly. So you know what? Just call the damn penalties. Either you do it the playoff style, you have it in the regular season, or you call penalties the way they do in the regular season in the playoffs. Can't have it both ways sometimes.
Two things. First off, Jacob, my comment about the Buffalo game. The Buffalo Sabres will only go as far as Thompson and Tuck will take them.
Agreed.
I agree on that, yeah.
Secondly, Adam, to your comment about the whole penalties did you watch the Vegas game?
Yes, I did. And that was
Did
crazy.
you see Nick Dowd get two-handed by the eye? And why was that not called a penalty if there was blood? Because normally if there's blood, there's a penalty.
Because it's the playoffs and it's fit. And you got to let stuff go, everybody. You got to be physical. You got to let stuff go. These guys are real tough guys. They're real tough. You got to let stuff go even when they're bleeding. There was a headbutt.
No. Hold on. Wait a minute.
There was a headbutt in that game.
Oh, that was not a headbutt. Cry me a river. You've clearly never been cuddled by a loved one. That was a cuddle nudge. Late and I Netflix and chill. No, I'm kidding.
Your Netflix your Netflix and chill, Jacob, got real physical. Your Netflix got real fancy there, Jacob. That's crazy. But it's still a headbutt. It's a headbutt. He's still ahead of it. He still put his head.
Everyone,
his head.
Never give Adam any physical contact, because he will say you have punched him in the weenus. But I will say, with the Nick Dowd situation, he's the one that started the kerfuffle at the face-off, and I think that's why they didn't call it. They just didn't want to call anything and just be done with that game at that point. But Lane, I know you really want to get your 2 cents in on this kerfuffle. So what's your thoughts on this, on the charge, or like the what's a penalty and what isn't?
Yeah, it's kind of silly when you think about it. I'm actually kind of with Adam on this, because it's so stupid, because you'll see in the playoffs, like in game 1, they're like kids with kindergarten class. They're like, oh, you can't do this, and you can't do this, and you can't do this. Don't look at them, or we're gonna call it penalty. Oh, don't even smile at the guy, or you're gonna go to the puck. And then game 7, it's like, oh, you stabbed him with a fork. Oh, cool. Oh, you brought a baseball bat and basically Walking Dead the guy. Oh yeah, that's cool. It's like, no, come on. Like, it's funny. We sit here every when the CBA gets put out, and these players are crying about their little bonuses and how their tax is going to go. Like, why don't they cry about the penalty rule? Because every year they complain about it, but yet they somehow have never addressed it in the 10 years. They're just like, well, okay, but then they all go cry about it in the press. So it's kind of silly. And I don't know what to say, because at some point it's like they could sit there. They have so much power when these negotiations happens to fix it, and then they never address it, and then they go cry to the press and say, well, that wasn't called. Like, yeah, but it's been like that for 20 years, bro.
Yeah, reps aren't consistent enough. And then I also get that, like, you want to let them go and you want it to be physical because it's the playoffs.
Old.
But Jacob,
rules change every game.
But Jacob, you look at it now, and it's kind of just like at this point,
you would have hated
would
early 2000s hockey then.
Oh my God, Jacob, let me finish my point. Stop. I get it, Jacob. The 2000s was physical. No, these guys are a bunch of crybabies. No, I get it, Jacob. You're old, and you're tired, and you're done with everybody being crybabies. But nobody cares, Jacob. Nobody cares.
I care, Jacob. Don't worry.
Something that happened 20 years ago.
Jacob, I care about you. Don't worry.
No. But it's like you can't. So my thing is, and you could tell. So I could already tell that because of what they missed today, I could see Utah and Vegas getting away from the referees. I'm predicting it now. That series is going to get out of hand next game because the refs are like, well, Nick Dowd started it, so we can't call a penalty for him because he started. No, what you do is if the refs too long do this, Jacob, and they do it where they allow kerfuffles to happen, and you can't call a penalty because he started. No, you grab Nick Dowd, you got the guy that gouged his eyes. You take him, you take everybody that was involved, you put him in the penalty box and say, well, you can't do that. You just start handing out penalties. Screw it. I don't care that you want the game done. You just start calling penalties because the series is going to get out of hand. If the series gets out of hand, people are going to cry because they're not going to call it for things later in the series. I don't want to hear anybody crying about it.
Or
you call the penalties, you call it the way you're supposed to call it, or you're going to lose the series later. And there's going to be fights every 10 minutes in that series. I already could predict it. There's going to be tons of fights next game.
Oh no, not physical, emotional, real hockey and playoffs. Oh no.
But there's a line, Jacob. There's a line where it's like
you need to lay it on the line, as they told us in so many ads last year. I don't know. I am curious about this. And then Lane, Lane, quickly address Connor here, and then I want to ask you guys all.
Connor, I want to make you happy, so I'll sing a Dua Lipa song. I got you, me, all night, moonlight. I want you. All night, yeah.
What is
I'm levitating?
Oh,
the rapper in the verse. I don't know the lyrics, but now I won't curse. Yeah. Anyways, okay.
That
I want to go around the room because I'm curious about something. Just yes or no.
Are you?
Do you think playoffs should have different rules than regular season? Rick, yes or no?
No.
Okay, Adam.
No.
Okay, Rick, I thought you were going to say yes, because I was going to say
Jacob,
maybe this is an age thing. And
so
it's
wait,
just...
no, Jacob.
Well, let me
Jacob,
finish.
I have a question for you. Wait, no, Jacob. No, I have a quick question for you. Because
you said no, Lane. I heard you.
So wait, Jacob, it's gonna go into, I feel like, your answer. I want your answer, and then you could go into your long spiel, because I know that's what it's gonna be. So that's why I gotta ask it now. So do you think that having two different rule sets, yes or no question, do you think that confuses the referees as having two different rules for the playoffs and the regular season? Does it confuse the refs?
Just do your damn job and it should be fine. You should know.
No, but do you think it confuses? No, Jacob, do you think it confuses them? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. So is that why they miss everything every time there's a playoff series? And that's why
they miss everything in every game. The refs are a bunch of idiots. It doesn't matter.
They don't know, Jacob. It's because they don't have the brain capacity. Just like Brady to Chuck, they don't have the brain capacity to think long enough.
Well, okay, but it's one of those things. Playoffs should be different than regular season. There's a reason why playoff tickets are triple the price and the TV ratings skyrocket. This is what fans want. They want hard-hitting, aggressive, none of this ticky-tacky, everyone gets a trophy BS. And I'm just keeping it a buck here. And I guess even though I'm not the oldest one here, I guess I'm the old man yelling at the cloud. And the best playoff hockey was the 90s and the early 2000s. It is not. There's a reason why Florida's won so many cups recently. It's because they know how to play that game. Look, I just think that at the end of the day, playoff hockey should feel different than regular season hockey. Playoff football is different too. I remember when the Chiefs last won their Super Bowl, everyone was mad about the pass interference call, saying that isn't a call in the playoffs. That's what people want in playoff sports. I do agree, however, I would have handled the ending of the Utah-Vegas game differently. I think the only reason why there weren't penalties at that point was the refs just wanted to go home, but that's no excuse. I hope we get a bunch of fighting in next game. I said this that that I actually hope that series turns into a war, like metaphorically, obviously. And thank you, JP. I appreciate you. Someone has to agree with me.
It should feel a little bit different, but I think the biggest issue is that if it's going to feel a little bit different, then you got to make the calls more consistent it's either got to be consistent with the regular season rules. So if you want it to be different now, then at some point you're going to have to make it easier for the refs to know what they're supposed to be calling, because it's clear as day. So, but if it's clear as day that the refs cannot figure out, because they had to wait and like conference for 10 minutes during that Montreal Tampa Bay game every time something happened, because they didn't know what they were supposed to be calling. They didn't know what they were doing. That's clear as day. That should be clear as day to the damn NHL Board of Governors, that they are screwing their refs up and they're screwing their product up, and it's pissing off fans because they continue to make the wrong calls way too often. I know everybody wants it's. I love the physicality of the playoffs, but it's also frustrating when the refs ruin it by not calling shit that they should be calling. It's ridiculous, and it ruins the games. It does. For me, at least, it ruins then hockey games for me. It ruins it when they screw the stuff up. I think
for my thing is then instead of changing hockey, let's just train the refs better. There's your solution, right? It's kind of like, let's say Adam, congratulations. I've hired you to manage my shoe store. I sell shoes now, right? And if you're not,
I don't want the job.
Well, too bad. You got it anyways. Congratulations. And let's say you're not doing a good job. Am I going to change my entire store because you don't understand how it runs, or am I going to train you?
No, you should fire me. No, you should fire me.
Or well, then you either fire the worker or you train them. You don't just go, we're just going to change the entire format.
First off,
that's not what I'm saying, though. That's not what I'm saying,
Adam, or Jacob, is Adam unionized? Because then he could take you to court for lost wages.
No, see, this is what I mean. They screwed up an entire ending of a playoff series.
Well, that game was just crazy when that happened.
Damn rule book. But like, Jacob, you hated when Sam Bennett wasn't kicked out of the game last year when he elbowed Stolars in the head. And it's like, well, the rest clearly don't know the rules that they can't call it elbow to the head. Like, it's clear
if we want to get into everything last year, they could even figure out that when you kick a puck in the net, it shouldn't count, even if the goalie attempts
exactly.
to make
they don't understand the rule book, Jacob.
So
they don't know what they're supposed to be calling.
But then don't change the rule book, train and or fire the bad apples and fix it.
Okay, well then you need to fire everybody because nobody knows the damn rule book.
Okay, I would absolutely love getting a full new crop of referees. I think it'd be nice if the referees didn't look like they officiated the last Leafs Stanley Cup win. Like, it would be great if we got some new fresh crop.
But we're not going to, of course.
I know we're not going to.
But you have to. But Jacob, you have to do it. If that can't happen, then I'm not saying you completely flip everything and you don't have a different. But you got to make it easier. Yes, somehow. I know it's stupid to say it because they're adults, but you have to somehow make it a little bit easier for the referees to differentiate between regular season and playoff, because clearly they don't get it that they're supposed to actually call some. They've been calling penalties, fair enough to them, but they're missing stuff. They're still missing stuff. They're still not understanding the rules. So you gotta change something. I don't care what it is. You gotta change something. Make it a little bit easier for them. I know it's dumb to say because they're all adults and they've been refereeing most of them for 20 plus years, but you gotta do something.
What are you going to change? Because they can already challenge penalties as is.
No, but like not even challenge penalties, but just like talk to the referees, change something for the referees. Like even if it's just like you put it you like make it simpler for the referees to understand what they're supposed to be calling. Like literally every year before the playoffs, they get the referees together and they talk to them about what they're supposed to be calling. Like they do all of this. Like it's not like the league doesn't do something, but like they clearly got to make it clearer to the referees, or the referees have got to find a better way to call stuff. Like something has to happen. Like it's not even just challenging. I don't care if they're able to challenge any call. Like I don't care about that.
I don't mind that idea,
because that's
though,
even
for mine.
worse. Challenging stuff is even worse because that takes even longer to do, which is even worse. But it's like I think you gotta like put it out in writing or something. What is a penalty? What level of physicality are you allowed to have? Like what physicality you're not allowed to go past? Like what isn't allowed? Like how physical can you allow the players to get before you start calling stuff? Like what happens before you start pulling players everybody out of the pile? Like you got to do something like that. Like you got to make it easier so the refs know literally written down what they're supposed to be doing at certain moment. Like something, I don't know. It's terrible.
It's interesting here what Connor's saying too. Like he's even referencing when Erik Karlsson, I actually remember this pretty well, when his stick got ripped out and thrown out, which was pretty funny. But I don't know. I just don't want to see playoff hockey not feel like playoff hockey anymore. That's all I'm saying. Like if we go back to the first game of the day between Colorado and
that was a fun
LA,
game. That was a good game.
I will say that game made me wish I could change my answer, and I said Colorado in 5 because I think this could be a 7-game series. I thought it was that good.
That's gonna be a fun series. That
like
top
LA plays from LA. Well, that top line from LA was almost unstoppable. I know they only put in the 1 goal because Wedgwood played really, really well.
If Forsberg plays that well again, like
they have a chance.
Like Colorado, I think Colorado will find a way to win this series. Like I think maybe if LA continues to play this well, like, but I don't think the way that they went about things, I think at points in that game, my dad was even telling me when we were watching this, like Colorado, like LA can't continue to keep Colorado out like this. Like, because Colorado just kept making dangerous chances. It just like you knew it was coming. Like you knew it started with that. It started with that no goal call, and I'm like Colorado's getting a goal soon because this is getting like too many dangerous chances. Like it's looking too easy for Colorado at times. Like this is like, and I do want to point something out because I saw something from Dallas today. So Jacob,
hi,
because you don't think Dallas is going to win this series, and you
nope.
don't. So do you remember last year?
I remember
how Dallas. So you remember them losing 7 straight games and then them getting blasted by Colorado 5-1 in game 1,
and then they won the series
at home, and then they won the series, and then they went to the. So you don't think it's possible, like not even a percentage chance that happens again?
Well, anything's possible, but I'm sticking with my take that Minnesota made the necessary moves to get better to beat Dallas. And I just don't think Jake Ottinger has any confidence in his game right now, similar to what I said about Vasilevsky. And I don't see Dallas being able to pull this off without Ottinger playing well, or at least average.
I really just want Ottinger to come out next game and just like post a shutout.
I'm sure that's what he's hoping for too. But like, if you
but I just think it would be funny if he did it just to see your reaction, because I would love to see your reaction to that. That's all.
Adam, it's funny
that's all I care about.
It's funny you say that because right now Minnesota's the underdogs for game 2.
I'm not surprised by that at all, to be honest with you. No offense to Minnesota, but I'm not exactly surprised by that, to be fair.
I just want to point this out. This is how crazy I am. I thought that the number 14 on LA was the same player that was drafted first overall by the Rangers, because their last names are
Lafreniere. Yeah, Alexei Lafreniere. Well, his is pronounced Alex Lafreniere or something. Like it's pronounced really differently. And it's hilarious when you hear the difference.
When I was watching the game, I'm like, wait a minute, when did he get traded by Rangers to LA?
Yeah.
It's just the only thing for me with, and I know you guys think I'm crazy about Ottinger, but I just want to go over some stats. We know he had a pretty bad game 1. So let's go over his playoff stats, right? So he hasn't been good, right? He was pulled in the last game against Edmonton. And the game before that, he had a pretty good game. Then after that, absolutely terrible. Game after that, not good. Game after that, not good. His last good series was against Winnipeg. But even against Winnipeg, he still had a dud in there. I'm just concerned that Jake Ottinger doesn't have any confidence right now. You saw every time he was let in a goal, his eyes were going straight to the bench. Now, I actually think him not getting pulled in that game was very helpful. That maybe that will give him some more confidence. But if Jake Ottinger doesn't get going, this could end up being a sweep for Minnesota. Because I just don't see Dallas being able to win these games 7-6 every night against this Minnesota team.
That pull against, oh my God, who was it last year in that game where he was pulled in the first period? It was against Edmonton, and then they put in Casey DeSmith. No, but then they brought him, then they should have brought it, and then they almost brought him back into the game, but he said he wouldn't go back in. They were going to bring him back in. They weren't even going to leave him out. I'm like, that ruined. If his confidence is ruined, that's the exact game where it got ruined. I don't think it was before that. It was literally that game ruined his confidence. You pulled him out there 7 minutes, and then you try and put him back into the game. Is ridiculous. That is horrid coaching, Pete DeBoer.
I do agree too with Connor here that Robertson also. Well, Robertson does. I don't even know if he even wants to be in Dallas. Like, that's a whole other thing. And welcome to the Desk Nolan Hockey Podcast.
Just to point this out, this is Carter. He's from Winnipeg, and I do a podcast with him outside of my own channel.
Oh, very nice.
So we do CFL content over on that channel.
Ooh.
So my thing is, this dates back to what? 1, 2, 3. His last 5 games. Of those games, he's only had one game over 900 save percentage. Yes. If he continues to have less than 900, they ain't gonna go far.
That's what I mean. I think I will say to Nolan Hockey Podcast, if you do enjoy this kind of content, I know you work with Rick, so you must be a cool guy. Please, and to any new viewers, Dan's not here to be the plug.
Subscribe to our channel.
Yeah, Dan the plug. Dan the plug.
So make sure you subscribe, like the video. It does go a long way for us. We have a combined 10 likes between the platforms today, so we really do appreciate it. And we've been gaining a lot more traction on our social media, so we really do appreciate all the love. But at the same time, if you're new,
subscribe to our channel.
He's being the plug. He's Jacob the plug Moore, the self-proclaimed sports analyst. That's a really long name. Jacob, you got to add the plug.
Reason Dallas ain't winning a cup is Jamie Benn as a captain.
I don't think I agree with that at all.
Sell-by day, and when the team is faced serious adversity, disappears. I would say with Jamie Benn, I think he should have retired last year. No disrespect to the guy. I think he's been a good player for a long time. How old is
Jamie Benn? Is he like 36? Something like that.
He's getting up there. That's getting up there for hockey.
I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't think that's the reason why. I think it's also their stars disappearing. It doesn't help when
guy, or whatever the heck his name is. He's up there in age too. He's what, 34, 35?
Ben is 37.
Oh, I'm 37.
That is crazy.
Why?
Damn, I'm older than Jamie Benn.
It's their stars. It's their stars. They just disappear. I don't think having Tyler Seguin for the last 2 playoff runs doesn't really help at all. Tyler Seguin's a big part of that team. I think Jason Robertson not always showing up in those moments.
Old and slow.
Jake Ottinger disappearing doesn't help. Miro Heiskanen was banged up last year. He's banged up heading into the playoffs this year. Doesn't help at all. When your big guys aren't showing up in the biggest, Jamie Benn's not a big star for them anymore. Jamie Benn hasn't for 6 years now. He hasn't been a big star since the 2010s. I don't think he's to blame. When you're But when your top two lines, when your guys on your top two lines are not showing up, it doesn't matter what anybody else does. You're not going to win a series when your top guys aren't showing up. The Leafs have shown that for a decade plus. What have you been like? Everybody trolls Leaf fans for that. I'm like, it's exactly like if Dallas's big guys aren't going to show up, they're not going to get out of this round.
Adam,
It's clear as day. They got to show up.
But
that's why the Leafs have only won 2 playoff series in a decade.
Connor makes a good point. I mean, good Lord, these are bad over the last couple of years.
I'm not saying he's not playing bad, Jacob. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, but other big stars aren't showing up.
I agree.
It doesn't matter what Jamie Benn does.
But as a captain, sometimes your captain needs to step up and make a big play in the big moment. And Jamie Benn has not done that over the last couple. Like, I mean, 23-24, he had a pretty good playoffs, but ever since then, he's been dreadful. I do get what you're saying, Adam. He's not your ace in the hole. I do get what you're saying, but I also get where Connor's coming from, that your captain needs to sometimes just needs to make the big play in the big moment. Go ahead, Rick.
You know what Jamie Benn needs to do? He needs to do a Brady Tkachuk and fight the captain at the beginning of the game.
You know what? But that's something he could do. Yes. I mean, legitimately, though, that is something he could be doing. Jamie Benn ain't winning anything as a captain because he has 16 points in 60 games. He's had a bad year, but I do get what Adam's saying. He's not there to score necessarily, but then go to Rick's point. Go to Rick's point. Do something. Like, please. Something.
But I don't
Jamie
think,
Benn.
Jacob, you say you get what I'm saying, but I don't think I'm not. So, Connor, I'm not saying, oh my gosh, everybody. Okay, I'm not saying that he's not doing. He sucks. He sucked. But like, I don't know what I'm trying to say at this point. But
listen, if NHL teams don't want to pay these guys the top money to be around and put in points, then fucking retire. Pardon my French.
No, but Jamie Benn probably should have retired last year. Like, I would agree to that. He probably should have. But Jamie Benn is not the reason they suck in the playoffs. He's just not. Like, he hasn't been good in the playoffs in 2 years, but like but when your top guys, when the guys you pay to put the puck in the back of the net, and when Tyler Seguin's not there, you're not going to win playoff series. I don't care who's your captain. I don't care if Miro Heiskanen is your captain. Miro Heiskanen is not going to win you a damn playoff series when he's banged up every time you head into the playoffs. Last year, he missed the start of the playoffs because he was banged up. This year, he barely got in. He barely made it to play the first game. Like, it's all happening in Dallas, and it just never comes around for them. But
one thing that
Adam doesn't have a mind to lose. I'm kidding, Adam. I'm kidding. You're just catching strays.
One other player that I would like to mention on Dallas who hasn't done jack in the playoffs, Matt Duchene.
Yeah, he's another one I think that you need more out of, and I mean, let's actually take a look.
He ain't doing nothing either.
Let's actually take a look at Matt Duchene's playoff history. I mean, obviously, he didn't do anything.
Columbus in 18, 10 points was his most points in his career in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's been bad. Like last year, 1 goal, 5 assists, 6 points, minus 16.
Was that in the Tampa series? Was that the year of the Tampa series?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes, it was.
Probably. Yeah, that's what I would assume. Yeah.
Year before,
he was great in that series, but
yeah, Duchene has never been. He was good for the Predators when they got swept. 3 goals, 1 assist, 4 points in 4 games. But the last couple of years for Dallas, this is what I talk about. You know, remember when I said to you guys, I thought Minnesota made necessary moves to get better, and I don't think Dallas did. Mm-hmm. And this is my point about Dallas. Bringing in Michael Bunting and Tyler Myers is not going to fix the problems of top-end scoring. Having Matt Duchene as a second liner will not win you a lot of playoff games for Dallas, especially with this format where you have to play Minnesota first round. This should not be a first round matchup, but I'm not going to be old man yelling at clouds about the playoff format today. I'll save that for another time when it's not 2:12 in the morning. But let's get to some more comments here. Back to Nolan Hockey Podcast. Legit, Jamie Benn has been so bad. He has made Taves 2026 run look great, and Taves is so old. I think when he saw Perovich reconstructing. You know what?
To be fair to Jonathan
better as the
Toews, he
season
hadn't
went
played in
on.
2 years. He hadn't played in 2 years, to be fair. Jonathan Toews hadn't played in a couple years. Jamie Benn has been playing hockey though. So you know what? I don't know what that tells you, but Jamie Benn Jamie Benn's been worse than Toews, you could say, because he's actually been playing hockey for the last 3 years. Jonathan
That's a
Toews
fair
took
argument.
off from hockey for like nearly 3 years. Like, if you're gonna say that, there's no way you think Jonathan Toews is actually even worse than Jamie Benn. When Toews didn't play hockey for 3 years, it was chilling in the mountains somewhere, just like doing whatever, like drinking some tea and stuff. Whatever he was doing.
He was hanging out with Aaron Rodgers in his darkness retreat.
Oh, probably, yeah. They're probably
If
doing some
Dallas-
yoga together.
If Dallas wants to win this series, they have to shut down Minnesota's top 2 lines. Period. Not just one.
Yeah,
both.
And Quinn
Minnesota made it harder by putting Boldy down in the second line, which was a smart move because it would be easier to shut down their offense if Boldy was on the top line. I feel like it might be a little bit easier.
Not only that, but then you also have Fader and Quentin Hughes as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, Minnesota, that's what I mean. I think Minnesota made some necessary moves and improving the bottom 6 by bringing in both Foligno brothers to play together in unison and love and passion. But
I still think that was such a weird move to make, but I don't know.
But I mean, I thought overall today, though, I want to ask you guys on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate the games today?
First off, there's one more game we have to get to, my friend.
Oh, I forgot one.
We forgot the Vegas Utah game.
Oh my gosh.
that game was crazy. That game was insane.
That game actually
Really?
might have
Oh
been
my
the best
gosh.
game of the day.
That one was
That game was
wild.
fun. I was
That game
hoping
was
Utah would
physical
pull
as
it off
heck.
just because I'm not a Vegas fan. Vegas, though, that third-
when I saw Vegas get that empty netter, I was like, Jacob's gonna hate this. He's gonna also hate that Carter Hart's 7-0 since John Tortorella took over.
Oh, Carter Hart, I will say the third period, I thought Carter Hart was great. First 2 periods, I thought he really struggled. We'll see which Hart we get.
Yeah,
as we
that
move
one
on
goal
from
he
the
gave
series.
up when he forgot that he has to actually touch the puck behind the net.
Yeah, that
was
was just
pretty
like, what the
funny.
hell? I
Oh,
could not stop laughing at that one.
That was brutal.
That was
And it
hilarious.
went off his teamteammate's face too.
And then, did
That's
you
brutal.
see how pissed he was at his teammate?
Yeah, I'm like, what?
He's
dude, it
literally
went off his
looking at him like,
face.
"Ugh." And it's like, dude,
you're the
you're
one
the
who, like,
entire reason why
forgot-
this went in.
Yeah. That was brutal. That was brutal from
I remember
Carter.
Yager and Mario. Oh man, yeah.
Jeez, you're really old. No offense.
I do
Damn.
remember Mario
That's
and
a
Yager. Adam, that
very
means
long
I'm
time.
old.
Listen,
I remember both of them.
You are old, Jacob.
I-
You are old. You talk about how old you are all the time.
Listen, I wasn't watching hockey in '98 when Gretzky retired, but I do
Buffalo
remember
Bills.
when Yager and Mario played together. Okay.
I remember Yager right up to when he was played in Calgary.
And to this day, Yager's still playing,
He,
if I'm not mistaken.
he's going to retire this year, but yes.
So he
I don't
says.
think I don't think I would say I honestly do think the Montreal and the Utah Vegas game were both better than the Sabres game.
I didn't see
Was a
I
1-0
didn't see
game
the
for
full
so long, I
Sabres
don't know.
game, so I can't comment on.
Yeah,
the
I didn't
whole.
watch enough of it, but like the third
The
period,
atmosphere
I
in
think the third
Buffalo was
period was the
second to none.
best period.
That
I will say the
atmosphere in
third period was
Buffalo
the best period of the day.
Yes.
Carter, I will give you the third period of that game as the best period of the day. But the other, I thought the other 2 games were just more entertaining, I guess.
But I
don't
will
know.
say, I'm curious though. A lot of people were calling Vegas was going to plow over Utah in this series, and I think Utah showed that
I
they can
did
keep with
not.
Vegas.
I went to 7
I
in this
picked
one.
Utah to win this series.
I also I
picked
picked
Utah to win
Vegas.
this.
I picked Utah in 7 originally, and I'm sticking
Me
with
too.
that. I thought Utah got some good goaltending
Farmers.
today. I didn't think the physicality, they looked overwhelmed. I thought both teams had their chances. Carter Hart made a couple huge saves in the third to keep it a 2-goal lead. As much as I don't like admitting it, I will admit it because I am a man of honor, character, and respect. But no, I think that was a really entertaining game. I think for the big thing for Utah is they just got to try not to take so many dumb penalties. What got Vegas back in the game was the power play goal in the third period. That kind of, because it was really feeling like Utah was going to hold on to that. And then that goal that tied it kind of just opened the floodgates a little bit. And they just got to be a bit better in their own end, making passes a little bit quicker. Although I thought Sergachev had a really good game for Utah on the back end in Uyghur. I felt the other defense looked a little surprised how much faster playoff hockey is at first, but I honestly think they'll get there. And to answer your question here on Vegas, we actually had a lot of people in the comments section when we did our brackets, which, by the way, Nolan Hockey Podcast, you still can join our bracket. It's posted on our social media. You have until tomorrow, or I guess now today, depending on what time zone you're in. I don't know, too many time zones. But a lot of people did.
The
20th
is when you have until.
It's until the 20th, so
it's not the 20th until you go to sleep and you wake up.
But I feel there are a lot of people in our comment section who were saying Utah was going to get blown out in this series, which I think just came down to experience. And I totally agree with you. Vegas is only 3 points ahead of Utah. Like, I mean, Vegas won their division and wouldn't make the playoffs in the East. They were in the worst division in the NHL.
One thing I will say is it's the Phoenix Coyote curse. I'm telling you that right now.
By the way, I was such a Coyotes fan back in the day. I know.
No, you don't say, Jacob. You don't say. Really?
Say
I had
ain't
no idea.
Whoa.
There's like no way anybody could have known that. There's just no way.
I didn't know that.
Like, there's no way no way. 100% no way nobody ever could have known that. I'm using sarcasm.
I also have a hot take I want to bring up. This is from Connor. If a player takes a stupid penalty that costs his team a goal when they're shorthanded, scratch them. Bolduc and Gensel were idiots with what they did today.
Damn. That's,
you know what?
I don't know about that.
Here's the tough one, okay? Bolduc, you can maybe scratch. You cannot scratch.
You can't scratch. Gensel. Yeah, no, you can't scratch.
He knew the penalty he did was stupid. Tampa's a good team. I honestly feel if Vasilevsky can play a lot better, they still have a very good chance in this series. And but I am curious, what's your guys' take on this one? Like, is this like a Torts take? That's what I feel like.
Question. So just to answer Connor's question. So you're saying, hypothetically, and I'm going to use the Montreal Tampa Bay series. So you're saying if Kucherov takes a dumbass penalty, you're scratching him next game.
You can't.
If I understood him correctly.
That's
you know how dumb that sounds?
Yeah. It does sound very dumb. And you don't bench Gensel. Like, I could understand Bulldog, I guess, but not Gensel.
Yeah.
You can't bench Jake Gensel. Yeah, no, you can't do that.
Toronto up 2-0 over Newmark in the OJHL Buckland Cup.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
The curse is lifted since they left the college venue. They have the Mammoth Zamboni Rick Utah Cup confirmed. But
do they even have any of Arizona's history, technically? I don't think they have any of that, technically.
Yes.
Because it went from Phoenix to Arizona to Utah.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, I don't know if they brought the history. If I thought the NHL didn't count the history, that's why I was asking. I didn't know.
Oh wait, no, you are right, Adam. They technically did.
I know I'm right,
Arizona
Jacob.
wants a team back again.
Jacob, let's say it all together, because Adam's always right. Say
except when he's wrong.
No. You're not a customer. You're not always right.
Adam's always Jacob. Say it along with
customer service.
Jacob, what's Adam always?
Not right.
Consistent.
Always right. Rick, it's always right.
Now let's get to the comments here. And I believe this is a new viewer. So welcome to the desk. And if you do enjoy these, I got to be the plug since more for your money's not here. If you do enjoy these roundtable discussions, please subscribe to the channel, like the videos. We really appreciate it. But let's get to your comment here. You need to play on the edge in the playoffs. There are costs to this, but I like the aggression from Bolduc. Unless the behavior becomes chronic, you take the good with the bad. And yeah, that's where you got to be careful too. Because look at what the Leafs did to Michael Bunting when he got suspended, and then he came back in that series, and he was afraid to even touch a pillow. Like, you have to play on the edge in playoff hockey. I do agree with this comment 1,000%. And for it to work, you need to find that fine line between the two. That's all I'm saying, right? You got to find that in between. So I do agree with this comment 1,000%. And I think Rick is just I think he maybe a comment just
No, it's not that. So during the Habs Tampa Bay game, American fans were chanting USA in a non-international game and proceed to lose and don't score another goal.
Yes, I saw that. I literally also
That's
said to
funny.
I looked over to my mom and I'm like, you do realize none of their best players are
Kathy?
American. Yes.
Oh wow, nice.
But here we
Kathy
go.
with a
Connor
special
he's
appearance.
throwing this right to Rick from Hamilton Sports Central. Rick, I don't care how good of a player he is. They do not commit such a necessary act that puts their team in a terrible against opponent that is excellent on the power play. So he's saying no matter what, no matter who he is, he doesn't care if it's Sidney Crosby.
So let me follow up
So
with
you
this.
would bench
So
Connor McDavid.
if it
Connor,
was
you would
game
bench
7,
Connor
hold on.
McDavid.
I wanna ask the Connor follow up. Game
Okay.
7, do or die. Series tied 3-3. You would be sitting the player.
The best player on your team, more specifically, we should ask.
Yes.
Okay, let's say it's Connor McDavid. Would you bench him in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals? Jacob, don't say it, because I feel like you're going to say that Connor McDavid sucks in those games anyway. So what would be the point?
Well, he doesn't have a single
But,
point
I'm
in
asking the
elimination
question.
Stanley Cup.
Oh my
Finals
God,
game.
Jacob. We get it. We know it, Jacob. We know it, Jacob. Okay, you don't need to keep reminding us. I'm just asking the question because Connor McDavid's technically the best player in the world. Okay, let's switch it up because Jacob's gonna get all pissy about it. What about Nathan McKinnon? Would you bench Nathan? Oh, that's even a worse example for Jacob because Jacob also hates Nathan. No Nathan McKinnon hater.
Nathan McKinnon. I
And
just
Connor
think he needs to be able
McDavid
to score a
hater.
damn empty net.
So you hate him. There you
No.
go. Thank you for answering my question.
Well, Duke problem wasn't just a penalty. It was a boneheaded icing that led to it. Yeah, that's true as well.
Oh, that's even worse. Icing the puck and then taking the dumb penalty is the worst.
Players need
thing
to
you can
learn
do
the
at
hard way. They have
times.
consequence for their action. I'll say this, Connor. If this is game 41 in a regular season and a player's doing it, I don't have a problem with what you're saying.
Yeah.
If it's
You're
game
crazy, though, doing it
7
in the
of the Stanley Cup
playoffs.
Finals and I have a power play coming up and I've benched Ovechkin, I'm an idiot. Right? It's kind of
that's
it's
crazy.
kind of where I'm at here. Comments a lot about the history between the Thrashers, the WHA, NHL, all kind of interesting stuff. Bo Duke was bailed out by Savkovsky big time. Savkovsky, oh my God, what a game. What a shot, too. I mean, it also helped them that Vasilevsky completely lost his net on that game.
Connor's back down from his proposal. He's just doing a period.
Connor is pulling a
in Game
Rick
7.
bonus.
Yeah, that's true. Definitely a Rick
I get
bonus.
the Connor, but benching Cooch in the playoffs is a great way to make team morale do a nice, beautiful nosedive.
Yeah.
I do agree with you there. By the way,
bring up
I can't
Connor's
stand
latest
Kucherov,
comment,
but
which is crazier.
I wouldn't bench him. Well,
He
what I
backed
would
down
do
from
is
it.
have him on the roster for Game 7, but not play him for a period. Again, but what if that
That's fair
period
enough.
costs you the
Connor,
game,
stick
though?
to your stick to your guts though. If you said you're gonna bench him,
Guts over
bench
fear.
him. Then for you can't. Yeah, like I get it. Games can have but benching him for a period doesn't really work, Connor. If your intention is to make him learn his lesson, well then you gotta stick to your guns. You gotta then bench him for that game. Don't go backing down from your guns. You know, if you're gonna go with your gut there and say you gotta bench the guy to teach him a lesson, just do it then. Don't bench him for a period. That's even worse to do.
If it's
in my opinion, at least.
If it's game 43 of the regular season versus a non-conference team, I'm totally fine with it. If it's a do or die game, it's kind of like when people say that for the Leafs they should be benching Nylander and then he goes out and scores and puts up 5 points in 2 periods. Right? It's one of those things, unfortunately. And again, now Bo Duke's a different situation. Funny enough, very similar conversation we were having about suspended players coming back the other night. When you're a superstar, you get preferential treatment where Bo Duke, maybe he is a healthy scratch because of his 2 mistakes, because you could put in Brandon Gallagher in his spot instead. Right? And I think, if anything, I think Gallagher is a better fit in that spot. So that's where it becomes ticky-tacky. 30% of a do or die hockey game. That math doesn't quite add up, but that's okay. Math is hard. It'd be 33%.
I was gonna say that's like 25%.
Adam, 25% isn't
that
right
doesn't
either.
work either.
Adam,
Damn it,
how many periods are in hockey?
First off,
I want to talk about that. Okay,
First
it's 2
off,
o'clock
that
in the
just
morning. I'm
wait,
tired.
wait. That just
This is
proves
your
that
fault,
Adam's
Jacob. We're
not
on
always
here.
right.
Exactly.
Damn it. Damn it.
To be fair, Connor's new name is Fair. I'm kidding. I'm fine if
Okay,
Rick
what's up,
making a
Fair?
good point about important Game 7 is, so I'm coming to compromise. The whole do or die experience, been regular season, total scratch.
Yes,
That's fair
okay.
enough.
I will agree with that. Regular
I don't mind
season,
that take.
yes.
Still not doing it, but I agree. Connor McDavid playing like poop against the Blue Jackets in game 42. Yeah, bench his ass and warm it up first, but not in the playoffs. Yeah, I think that's where I'm at too, right? I think you got to find, and that's where I think a coach like John Tortorella has sometimes lost his bench, where I think you gotta play the game, right? How many times did we watch Mike Babcock when he was mad at Matthews and Marner and we were down a goal with a minute left for as a Leaf fan, by the way, and the fourth line went out because he was sending a message, right? Like it just depends on when pick and choose when to send those
Jacob, do you remember when Austin Matthews played a total? Oh my God, how many seconds was it? He played like a minute of third period in like 2018 against Boston in a game 7 in which we were trailing and needed a goal. He played Austin Matthews a minute.
I was
and
so
he
mad.
played the fourth line he played the fourth line more than he played the second line.
I remember.
He consistently kept playing he did not play Matthews for
I remember.
Crazy. That was a crazy
Adam is
game.
trying to make me turn into Lane and throw things. We love you, Lane. I know you're still listening. He's in the background. He's the ghost of the analyst desk, past, present, and future. But no, it'll be interesting to see how things go to with coaching strategies for Montreal. Do you bench Bo Duke because of the mistake, or do you keep the lines as is because you won? Tampa, do you try to drastically change up your strategy, or do you just tell the guys to wake up and smell the coffee? See, Lane never disappears. He lives in StreamYard. Like, we live in his basement. Actually, we live in Adam's basement, but I guess it's technically Lane's basement.
No, you live in Lane's basement, Jacob. You said it was Lane's basement.
All right, Lane, I'm moving in. Yes, Babcock casually improving morale with the strategy of tell him which one of your teammates don't try and practice. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Mike Babcock. Or like when he finally gets a coaching job, he's like, I want to see all the pictures on your phone, and then like makes really creepy eye contact.
Oh my God.
What a gem. But
what things have happened in the past?
Oh my gosh. But now I think overall though, I think we've kind of broken down.
See that,
likes
Adam?
Living in his own basement. Maybe we all got to move to JP's basement.
Oh,
see, Lane proves it.
That is brutal. That is a brutal hit, Rick. Oh my!
I'm gonna send this. Can you share this?
Oh no!
I'm gonna send it to you on Facebook. Watch this hit.
Oh, that's.
I just sent it to you on Facebook.
But interesting comment here. Marty has to keep a winning lineup intact through the season, so I doubt he'll switch things up for game 2. That's interesting. I know you follow Montreal closer than I do. Kind of sucks having to bow my head a lot, but oh well. I mean, just take a bow.
Wait, I'm so confused.
Careful though, if you take a bow, Adam will accuse you of headbutting him, and he'll try to get you arrested. Yeah, I do agree about that. I'm like Babcock. Social awareness of it.
See how it is, Jacob? So, Jacob, I'm going to lean my head right into you next time I see you.
And then I'm going to accuse you of...
Okay. Well, hold on.
No, but it's not a headbutt, Jacob. It's not assault. It's just a love tap, as you said.
If you're going to bow your head for him to headbutt you, I'm gonna come with a foot punt and punch you in the head like Randy Orton did Cody Rhodes the other night.
Okay, so... We will try. We'll see if we from the Western Hockey League's social media.
Watch this hit. This is disgusting.
This is brutal.
But I'll give Kwasnika credit. After taking that hit, he got right.
Oh my gosh!
And the Penticton 18-year-old forward got right back up. Did not hesitate.
Go to sleep.
It looks like his head hit the ice.
Yeah, that was like concussion protocol. Jeez, that's brutal.
What are those?
I agree. Adam's not the snitch.
Snitches
type.
get stitches.
And get thrown in ditches by bitches.
Yes, that's true. That's a good point.
Clean hit. Yeah, I'm not saying it's a dirty hit, but what a hit.
No, Nolan Hockey Podcast, it's not battery because Jacob said it's just a love tap. That's all it is. It's just a little love tap, okay? Not battery. It's just a love tap.
WrestleMania night 2 over.
No, Lane. All I was saying was, Jacob said that he'd put his head down so that Adam could headbutt him, and I said, well, his head's down. I'm gonna punt his head like Randy Orton did. Cody Rhodes, night one. That's all I said.
Adam's just gone. He's sick of our nonsense,
Hey, I'm
Rick.
charging my computer.
Sure you are. That's always the excuse. Look at this. He says he's always right, but he isn't prepared.
Yeah.
Well, that was aggressive.
It was aggressive.
But so what are your biggest takeaways from night 2?
No one-sided games.
Yeah, no one-sided games, please. That'd be nice.
You're the one bringing up CFL in the chat. This is your fault now.
Oh,
bring up
buddy,
the CFL, everybody.
You want to talk to CFL chat? I spent my evening going over our roster for training camp, not including the draft picks.
That's crazy.
Because I have to prepare for content.
Yeah, I got 2 words for you, Lane. Suck it.
2 weeks.
Exactly right, Lane.
No, 9 days to CFL draft, my friend. 9 days to CFL draft.
Whoa.
Yes.
Oh.
Good. Now we have a Winnipeg person in here, so now we can get more teams in.
Oh my word! This is gonna be fun.
Jacob putting his head repeatedly against his own mic is a tragically comedic. I'm all good because Adam says
Jacob's
this is a
never
headbutt.
Okay, no, it's a love tap, Jacob. You say it is, so it's not battery. I'm just giving you a little bit of love. That's all I'm giving you. Give you a nice little cuddle.
The only
That's all I'm
battery I
giving you,
need is the
Jacob.
one in my mouse. But okay, yeah, Rick,
Jacob
I agree with
wants all
you.
the
For
content.
day 2, a big takeaway was all the games were competitive. My takeaway from game 2 is that Vasilevsky maybe done his hot playoff run, and that is my take from game 2. I want you to look at his last 6 starts in the playoffs.
And I don't want to look at it, so I'm not going to.
1 good start in his last 6. My takeaway is if Andre Vasilevsky doesn't get going, not that Tampa Bay will necessarily be done. I think Vasilevsky is done as the Tampa Bay Lightning if he does not get going.
Do you know what would be the funniest thing for him to do? Is
Get a
get
shutout.
red hot. No, wait. No, it's him to get red hot and post 4 straight shutouts and gentlemen sweep Montreal. That would be the funniest thing but it would be the funniest thing Andre Vasilevsky could do because you put up this stat right now. That'd be the funniest thing in the world he could do is put up 4 straight shutouts and win 4 straight games via shutout. No, it would be even funnier. Shutouts the rest of the way through the playoffs. Just shut out everybody the rest of the playoffs and win the cup.
Thank you. I said that earlier tonight.
Goals.
Rick did say this earlier tonight, Connor, that Cooper might be done if they don't get past the first
And people
round.
thought I was batshit crazy.
That is
I
funny.
agree with this
It is-
comment. That's
it
so
is
funny.
very funny. It is very funny. It would be he'd giving up just 4 goals and just sweeping the rest of the playoffs and losing just
That is
one
true. A
game
love
would be
tap
very
could
funny.
be considered battery.
No, but as Jacob said, it's just showing.
Yeah,
him
but
some
again,
love,
if you do
know?
it without
That's all
my
it is.
consent, Adam, so if I say no,
Jacob, you gave consent earlier when saying it's just
Lord.
no.
I can
maybe
take
Adam
away
hasn't been showing
consent
any
whenever
love.
I
So I'm
please.
just showing you some love, then, Jacob. So you know what? I feel like you gave.
Leafs
consent
should
for
hire
that, so you know
Cooper.
what?
Hey, yeah, sure. The Leafs love going out in the first round. Adam, what's your one takeaway from day 2?
That Jacob doesn't shut up about Andre Vasilevsky. No, it's that. It's just that. It's that Colorado. True, I think Colorado is not going to be subject. May not be subject to the curse given today's result and how difficult it was for them to get it done. They still got it done. They still got over the line. They still
Okay.
showed that championship DNA, and I think it showed that they could still get the job done. Even when things are tough, because maybe it hadn't won today. Okay, why are we talking about battery now? The whole conversation's turned into battery now.
You're calling it
This
a
is funny.
sucker punch.
It wouldn't have been a sucker punch either. It would have just been a little head tap, you know? There's no battery involved, guys. Jacob
Oh,
wants it. He asked for it.
So
We
He
need
asked
Judge
for it
Judy in
earlier.
the chat.
I have a
He
question.
asked
So
for it earlier.
if you and someone are having a face-to-face conversation, you go to sneeze, is that battery? You sneeze.
No, it's not.
you don't
Exactly. I'll
dab-
just sneeze.
If you don't dab,
I'll just
you don't dab.
sneeze. I'll just bring something to make me sneeze. You know, I'll just have a little bit of a sneeze. I'm gonna say, oh man, Your Honor, I sneezed. Okay. I just sneezed a little bit there. You know what? It's not my fault. Jacob's face
Thank you, Connor.
was literally like this in front of my face.
You know what it?
That's not funny.
You know what it is, Connor?
It is funny.
After remember, so I'm in my 30s. I have seen
I love
lots
doing
of
that.
ups and downs of the Leafs in my life. I have just accepted it that we will win a cup on my deathbed. I will die and they'll win a cup the next day.
And I'll still be alive because Jacob's older than me.
I
So you
will
know what?
say-
I won't have to.
Hey,
see
how's it
my
going,
deathbed.
Paulo? Our favorite
One
Aussie
player-
Leaf fan.
One player that I remember the Leafs drafting that did shit for them, but then he did better with another team was Brad Boyes.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. The Leafs have not
Yeah.
been good in the drafts, but
Uh,
so we still have awesome games coming up in the NHL, and of course we will be back to cover as much as we can during the week as well.
Also, Adam, one last
Yes.
thing, if he's going to be signing
Oh
off,
no.
did you
Yes.
hear the news today?
What news?
Is it about the bird?
The Jays won a game.
Yes, I saw that. I did see
Yeah,
that.
Jays have a humongous
10-4.
victory,
I did see that.
scoring 8 runs
Because
in the
they
first
had
inning.
An ace.
No, I
Pitcher.
know if I just sneeze. You know what? If I sneeze accidentally and I make contact because Jacob is really close to my face, that isn't my fault. I just sneeze. You know, that's not really my fault. I can't control when I sneeze.
Rick, you're being called out
could,
about your sneezes.
know.
About my thesis?
About your
Yeah.
sneezes.
No, I'm just saying I'm just saying, like, is that
Yeah, well, what's up with the
battery if you
winky
sneeze
emoji
and
on
you-
that last
and you
one?
elbow
That's
them in
kind
the
of
head?
disgusting. That's a weird comment to make.
This has
Weird
been a
emoji to
show,
use in
but
that
that's okay.
context, guys.
It's been a great show. But as a reminder, we
No, it's
will
getting
be
weird
back.
now. It's getting weird now.
I love how I've made Adam go into a full legal defense
okay.
on the live stream.
Adam,
You know what?
hold on. I'm gonna
I
say
gotta
a
do it at some
non-weird
point.
thing. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
a non-weird thing.
Okay.
You guys were all on Automoto's butt for not playing well. He went 2 for 4, 3 RBIs. So
Hey,
eat
I
those
have been giving
Mm.
I'm saying
Fair enough.
Automoto deserves some slack.
What did I say about Alco? I
That's
didn't say
Lane
anything
that's
about
getting in
Alco.
one.
That's Lane's fault. That's
Lane, come
words.
back!
Hey, Lane, if you're still in here.
Yeah, Lane.
Lane, get
Well,
up from Adam's
you gotta
basement.
maybe. Yeah,
Adam, just kick the floor.
I can't. My parents are sleeping downstairs, Jacob. I'm not
Adam,
gonna wake up my parents.
apparently, you're the channel's legal defense attorney.
Yes,
Yes.
apparently I am. I have never studied law
We're-
before.
you know
I've
what?
only ever
I'll
watched
end this
crime
on that.
shows.
If Adam's our lawyer, we're all
None of it is
screwed.
good. Yes, it's true. We are all screwed. I will get every single one of us in jail.
Okay.
Like it just would not end well.
Lane,
Lane-
Lane, Rick has a message for you. Go ahead, Rick.
Yeah.
Apparently, Lane, you were saying that Automoto was garbage. He went 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs and a walk. So,
Got it.
and apparently, Adam, legal defense.
No,
who
Lane,
admitted
I
to
haven't admitted
battery.
to anything. I haven't admitted to anything. Hey, I didn't do anything yet, so I haven't admitted to anything yet. I haven't done a crime yet. You know, it's not my fault. You're taking my word. You're putting words in my mouth. I didn't do. I haven't admitted to anything yet. I haven't
Apparently,
done
me
anything
pointing
yet.
to the sky is a habit of
Once
mine.
to the sky.
apparently.
No. Gotta put the
Lane,
once to the
I'm
sky.
actually going to defend Okamoto a bit. I did the math today. He's on pace for 24 home runs this year. Let's all just chill. Let's all just chill a bit and give the guy some time to get going. He's had more than one good game this year.
If we're gonna discuss this, he's having a better year than Bichette is. Like, let's be real.
Much
here.
better. Bo Bichette is wishing that instead of going to the Mets, he just took the goal train. But that is all we have time for today at the Analyst Desk, where every day feels like game day. I want to thank you for joining us in the comment section. I want to thank the new
Subscribe to our channel.
person who subscribed to the
And
channel.
don't forget, Dan, more for your money. Woo!
Yes, the
And
plug.
of course,
the
Lane
plug.
Dashing Dashko, who joined us for a bit, and then he has been in the comment section listening. And of course, Adam Alfrego,
Who always gets bitten
Alfredo.
by goats.
You are yes. But okay, if you don't understand why I have that as my name, please go watch game 1 simulation for the Toronto Raptors playoff series. That is why I have this name. You will learn it in that video, and it will all start to make sense.
Also, yes, I'm glad you had fun during the stream, Connor. We had a really good time tonight as well. Thank you very much for joining us at the Analyst Desk. I also want to thank Rick from Hamilton Sports Central for joining us once again. Nice. We really we always love having you here, Rick. And again, if you haven't given Rick a follow over at Hamilton Sports Central, I highly recommend it. He does some amazing content, doing a lot of AHL content, but doing some live streams in junior hockey, and does a lot for the local sports in Hamilton. Big Tie Cat guy over here. Lane says you're a legend.
Yes.
Those are all in Adam's basement. That's why Adam's not. Adam, you're pointing to nothing. You're in the attic.
No, I'm pointing to my attic. So you know what? Screw you.
Hey, absolutely, Nolan. We would love to do some
I will let Carter know.
Or Carter. Sorry, it says Nolan. I'm keep thinking.
Yeah, it's his last name.
That makes more sense. But thank you very much for joining us at the Analyst Desk. We'll be back tomorrow or today or yesterday, whatever time zone
after
you guys
we wake up.
And thank you for joining us. We'll see you very soon. Have a great evening, afternoon, morning, breakfast, whatever you are. We love you. Mwah. Goodbye. Point to the ceiling.
It's the Analyst Desk. Welcome to the show. It's the Analyst Desk. Yeah, in case you didn't know, it's the Analyst Desk. Welcome to the show where every day feels like game day, bro.
Game day.